And Hillary Clinton is responding after tension from the 2016 Democratic presidential primary spilled over into the 2020 race. Last night, Democratic Congressman Rashida Tlaib, who is campaigning for Bernie Sanders, could not resist the urge to boo Hillary Clinton. She did it along with a crowd of Bernie Sanders supporters at a campaign event in Iowa.
When someone by the name of Hillary Clinton said that nobody, we're not going to boo, we're classy here. We're classy.
I'll boo. You all know I can't be quiet. No, we're going to boo.
Hillary Clinton spokesman Nick Merrill telling NBC News, quote, "I can't imagine this kind of behavior is something Iowans want to see from candidates and their surrogates, and I don't imagine the vast majority of voters in Congressman Tlaib's district, which Secretary Clinton won by over 60 points in 2016, want to see this either." All of this coming after a recent interview with The Hollywood Reporter, another interview for a podcast in which Hillary Clinton said that nobody likes Bernie Sanders, nobody wants to work with him, and he gets nothing done. Great to have my friend Danielle Moodie Mills with me now. She's the host of WokeAF Daily at DNR Studios, the co-host of the podcast Democracy-ish. Here we are again. Yes, elections and campaigns are cyclical, but this is a story that has bubbled up time and time again. As I mentioned, there was this interview with The Hollywood Reporter, another interview with Emily Tish Sussman, in which a lot of these themes were revisited by the former Secretary of State. What do you make of what happened there on stage before Bon Iver took on the stage to play some music? It was a different feel, some dissonance between those two acts.
I have to say that it was problematic, right? I think that booing Hillary Clinton, I think that any type of animus that you're trying to create internally should not be happening right now. I don't care whether it was a joke. I don't care whether she misspoke. Look, I also don't think that Hillary Clinton should have said anything about Bernie Sanders in this moment. Why? Because we are living in really dangerous times. We have a president that is lawless. We have a Republican Senate that has stamped that lawlessness and is allowing it to go forward. He has widened now the Muslim ban to go across countries that are our allies, including Nigeria. There are serious things that are happening in this country. We need a serious candidate, and we need Democrats to come together. And I don't mean that mindlessly come together, but I mean, let's look at who's in the White House, who is backing him in the Senate, who is on the Supreme Court backing him, and think about what we need to do in the next 270 plus days.
I think of how we get angry, and I think of what's been normalized as well. I know there's been a healthy debate too. You heard time and time again, you still hear at President Trump's rallies that cry of lock her up in reference to Hillary Clinton. That's something that's bubbled up at other rallies as well. Toward him, that lock him up. That's other chant. And some have said, don't take what he's done. Don't go down that path. Don't stoop as low as he has. Is this just a variation on the theme that we're seeing, or how we deal with anger?
I don't know if it's possible, David, for us to get to the level that Trump has gotten to, because I don't think any of us can go that low physically or emotionally or spiritually. So no, I don't want a chance of lock him up. What I want are people to be lined up, wrapping their bodies around the polls in mass and coming out in unprecedented numbers to get him out of office. That's what I want. I don't want childish booing. I don't want chance of lock him up. I don't want any of that. What I want are people to put their passion, their anger, and their rage into getting people registered to vote, because we're the only ones we're waiting for. Nothing else is coming to save us. No impeachment, no Senate, no Mueller report, no nothing. It is up to us in 2020, in November, to seal the deal and get rid of Donald Trump.
Stay with me here, if you would. Michael Moore joins us now. Of course, the filmmaker. He is a Bernie Sanders surrogate. I gather he was at that rally last night when this exchange took place. Michael Moore there in Des Moines, Iowa. Mike, thank you very much for being here. Let me ask you, first of all, just sort of what you made of that in real time. I don't know if you were backstage or among the crowd. We've certainly seen how the fallout has been today as the clip has been played, and we've seen the statements from Hillary Clinton's spokesman and from Rashida Tlaib as well. How did it play in the room? Speak to just that, which we were just speaking about a moment ago, the manifestation of the anger in the room there in Des Moines.
I was out there on the floor with the thousands of people there at the rally when Rashida said that. And she was responding to the fact that people were already booing Hillary before Rashida said anything, because that's the level of anger amongst people who want to win. Hillary's comments about Bernie, nobody likes him, can't win. That's only exists to help Donald Trump. Maybe Hillary doesn't know that, but it was divisive, it was cruel, and it was a lie. The fact is, just watch the news here today. He's #1 in the latest nationwide poll today. He's #1 in California, #1 in New Hampshire, #1 in Iowa. He's #1 with young people by like 52%. I mean, he is so beloved across this country by working people, by the middle class, by young people. He's been #1 with Latinos in every poll for like 4 or 5 months. He is beloved. For Hillary Clinton to say that, this just reminded us that we have our own 1% in the Democratic Party. We have our corporate Democrats. We have the Democrats that are beholden to Goldman Sachs and who are funded by all these large corporate. They are the corporate Democrats. And if they're here in Iowa to try and ruin this so that Trump stays in office for 4 more years, they should stop. They should stop this right now, because that's not. I've been with Bernie on this campaign trail for the last 2 weeks. He has never said a negative word about Hillary Clinton. In fact, in 2016, he did 39 rallies on his own for Hillary. When Hillary lost to Barack Obama in the primaries of 2008, she did 12. She did 12 rallies with Obama. Bernie did 39. He supported her. I've never heard him say a negative word about her. And for her to make this middle school comment, nobody likes him. Nobody likes him. It's like, really? I voted for Hillary Clinton in the general election 4 years ago. This is very sad and disappointing.
Michael, you talk about how he said no ill words. I think a lot of people focus on the silence back in 2016 and that interregnum of 36 days. He saw the writing on the wall that he wasn't going to be the nominee, and he took a lot of time before he fulsomely backed Hillary Clinton in the election. Can you understand, can you sympathize with that at all? That this wasn't an immediate endorsement of Hillary Clinton by Senator Bernie Sanders back in 2016?
What he was doing, first of all, let's just be clear. In 2008, after it was very clear that Hillary Clinton had lost to Barack Obama, she would not endorse him until June, until the summer. So that's not unusual. And the reason Bernie didn't endorse until the summer, was because he wanted to go to that convention and make sure that the party platform represented the people in the 22 states that elected him during the primary season. And that's all he was holding out for, the party to come out in favor of a $15 minimum wage, to come out in favor of these things that the party still wouldn't do in 2016. And he was fighting for those things, not against Hillary. He went out there one day in Iowa here, it was November 4th, 4 days before the election in 2016. He did 4 cities in one day, 4 rallies from all the way from Davenport. He went and he ended in Omaha, Nebraska.
There you go.
On that night. For Hillary.
Michael.
So I don't want to hear any more about this. This is just this madness of that Hillary is. I'm sorry she lost. I want to go and tell her, you won. 3 million more Americans wanted you instead of Trump. Quit trying to help Trump get another 4 years by divisive, bullying statements like the one you made.
Michael, you mentioned, I want to ask you here lastly, you mentioned the 1% in the Democratic Party, as you call it, and you were on that stage last night. You became very emotional, very angry as you looked at the new DNC rules here that are going to allow Michael Bloomberg to participate in subsequent debates. And there was a write-up by Ryan Lizza of Politico. I like what he wrote here. He said the Sanders campaign is a bit like a bag of microwave popcorn. Their project has been to keep the temperature and timing just right, lest the bag burst open or light on fire. Just bring it full circle here to where we start, and that is the anger, the excitement and anger, that volatile mix that you have there in Iowa as you approach the caucus on Monday night.
It's not the people on the stage. It's the people. I've been here now. This is day 11 for Bernie. I've been across the whole state. That anger, that dissatisfaction, not just with Trump, but amongst people. Remember, Trump ran against the Republican Party. Trump was on that debate stage trashing Republicans right and left. It's because the American people are fed up with the old structure, the old way, the party hacks. They don't want this anymore. And I see this now. That's why Bernie is #1 in these polls here and growing each day, because people are fed up. They want somebody they know who will not sell out, who cannot be bought, who's going to go in there and fight for these things. He's not going to take any money from any of these wealthy. I mean, we had a Democrat running for president in just the last decade or so that his #1 contributor was Goldman Sachs. We're done with this. Those days are over. Those days are over, and the people are angry. They're angry because they don't have a living wage. They're angry because they think because they have Obamacare, they got the bronze plan, and they find out that the deductible and the copay and everything else, they put off going to the doctor even when they have Obamacare. It's just madness.
Michael,
we've got to fix this. This is the time to fix this. I feel so strongly about this, and I'm so happy to every town I go to here, the crowds that come out for Bernie, the crowds that come out wanting a different way, not wanting to be in hock after they go to college for the next 20 or 30 years, wanting to be able to afford daycare. These things that Bernie is going to fight for, and we're going to elect a Democratic Senate. We're going to elect a Democratic House. We've got 40 more AOCs running across the country this year. We're going to have a great year, and it's going to shock the Republican Party and Donald Trump. I will be there with a U-Haul on January 20th next year to help him move. I'm just that kind of guy.
With the U-Haul in the Hawkeye hat, Michael Moore there joining us from Des Moines. Michael, thank you very much. And Danielle, quickly, if you would, just want you to get a comment on what he said there. I go back to that pop for a moment. What Bernie Sanders' campaign is starting. He may not have said anything negative here, but you do have these moments bubbling up here among the campaign.
You have these moments, but we need to move past it. We have so many more important things that are happening with this president, in this White House, with this Senate. They are criminal. They are doing criminal acts, and we need to focus on that, not this squibbling.
Danielle Moodie Mills mentioning that travel ban. We're going to talk about that in just a moment with the Homeland Security reporter for the New York Times. Danielle, thank you very much. We'll be right back.